North Atlantic Treaty Organization, short for NATO, is an intergovernmental military alliance based on the North Atlantic Treaty, which was signed on April 4, 1949. Member states of NATO have agreed to offer collective defense against any aggression by an external force.
In June 2014, Estonian Prime Minister Taavi Rõivas called NATO to establish a permanent presence of allied NATO forces in the Baltic countries in response to Russia's actions in Ukraine. Most NATO units involved in the mission originate from the USA and are located in a town called Tapa in Estonia.
We've been deployed to Estonia to assure our NATO allies of our commitment to your freedom and all that stuff. So that's kind of the broad overarching theme. But specifically, I think that we are here to partner with the Estonian Defense Force and show them what an armored formation looks like, moves like, what our capabilities are, and provide them with an opportunity to train with and against something that they're not used to. So that's one aspect, and then the other thing is, we are here to learn from the Estonian Defense Force just as much as I think we're here to facilitate their training. So every time, and I've said it every time we've come back from the field, but especially our first field problem, when we came back, I said in those 5 days, I think this formation learned more than we had, months prior to coming here. So.
Climate shapes people's character and affects their emotions and attitudes. For most NATO soldiers, Estonian climate is very different from home.
The United States cover a very large area and feature great diversity of geographical qualities. For this reason, a large variety of climatic conditions can be found within this country. Territories of the USA extend over 4 climate zones. The main part of the country lies in the subtropical climate zone, while a more temperate climate dominates the northern part of the country. Southern parts of Hawaii and parts of Florida lie in the tropical climate zone, and parts of Alaska even lie in the Arctic climate. Estonia is further north and has a colder climate than all parts of the USA, save for Alaska.
In the sense that it is cold in coming on May. Now, being from Colorado, we're used to the cold and the snow in some capacity, but oftentimes we get a storm that'll bring in 6 to 8 inches of snow, which is a lot of snow, but then the next day the sun will come out. And the temperature will go from 0 degrees Celsius to 15 degrees Celsius in a day. So we have pretty consistent change. The only thing that is consistent with the weather in Colorado is that it's inconsistent. So here, we've at least been able to get used to and acclimate ourselves to the weather. And quite frankly, the last 2 days have been pretty fantastic. So.
Oh yeah, I love the weather in Estonia. It kind of reminds me of Colorado by the changes it has. Here, it's like cloudy, snows a lot, rains. It's just like Colorado. And like as of today, sun's out one day, gone the next. So I absolutely like Colorado. It just switches each day. So, and yeah, it's just normal weather for me.
It's cold, but I'm used to the cold. So it's not much different from what I'm used to. We've had a couple really good days. Yesterday was really warm, so it's nice.
I like the weather in Estonia. I think the cool weather is very nice, and then on some days it gets a little warmer, but I like the weather overall.
The weather in Estonia is it's interesting. It changes constantly. Well, lately it's been pretty nice, but it seems to snow and rain quite often. Being from Colorado where we're stationed, we're used to the snow, but we see a lot of sun. And yesterday and the day before were the first couple of days we had sun in a while, so that was nice. The weather, I like the weather.
I think we are able to mitigate the weather and still able to go out and do our training as planned.
I'm from northern part of the United States, so it's very similar to here. Cold, forest, rains a lot, and every once in a while we get a nice day.
So I'm from a little town in Oklahoma where it's really hot. It's it'd be 30 degrees Celsius most of the summertime, so it's pretty hot compared to here. We don't have really big cities really nearby, like you guys have Tartu, Talon to go. So it's interesting to see a lot of people.
It's pretty similar to my hometown. It doesn't rain as much here as it does in my hometown, but the temperature stays about the same.
People's choice of career is based on many kinds of reasons. There are people who want to become soldiers, while others decide to become doctors or lawyers. There are people who want to see the world, as well as people who prefer to earn a living in their homeland. Some people see the military as a good setting for learning a trade, while others prefer apprenticeship or college. Soldiers of NATO aren't draftees. All of them have chosen a military career and are professionally trained. There is a myriad of reasons why people choose to enlist in the military, but they all amount to one thing: the improvement of oneself.
Armed Forces of the United States consists of the Army, the Marine Corps, the Navy, the Air Force, and the Coast Guard.
When I do it for my family, mostly. I see me as inspiration. Never thought I was gonna be a soldier as I was growing up, but I just did it. Now I'm seeing my family as a role model, especially for my little sister. She sees me like a hero, pretty much.
Make myself better as a person. My father grew up and he was a soldier as well, and I wanted to follow his footsteps, and I wanted to make a change in my life, and being an American soldier is definitely the right path that I took, and that's why I took it.
It's something I've always wanted to do. In America, it's very patriotic to serve your country, and my brother actually joined along with me, so we did it together.
I was a freshman when the terrorist attacks on September the 11th occurred. I played a baseball game maybe 4 days later up in a town called Barnegat, which is across the bay from where the World Trade Centers then used to be. And there was still smoke and ash smoldering from the building, and you could see it from a very, very significant distance away. And, you know, maybe cheesy, but, you know, it was kind of that day where I said, you know what, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something about it. So on that day, I kind of decided that I'd like to serve in some capacity. So that's why I joined, and then I stay in because I love working with soldiers, and a lot of things that we do can be considered pretty fun.
Oh man, so I became a soldier because I mean I was definitely growing up doing the wrong thing. I was when I was 19, I was actually doing drugs and all this sort of stuff, and I had to make a choice for myself to either become a better person, a better brother, family man, you know. And ever since I joined, I haven't ever looked back. So that definitely helped me become the person that I am today.
The rich variety of humans becomes evident in our cultures. Each society, whether it is in the East or the West, has its own particular culture, which manifests itself in its traditions, beliefs, patterns of social behaviors, as well as in language, literature, arts, and even fashion.
For cultural integration, soldiers often visit museums, historical places, and cultural sites to deepen their understanding of Estonian history and culture.
So the biggest thing, and I kind of alluded to it earlier, is our culture is still relatively new, in the sense that our country's only been around for, 250 years or a little less, right? Meanwhile, your country, has, like I said, a building that's older than our country. So your culture is much, I think a little bit, it's more established. I think that kind of best sums it up.
Well, like since you guys are a much older country than America, you guys already have your traditions and culture established. While in America, we're so diverse. We're still trying to find our own identity in America. And I mean, don't get me wrong, either is good and bad, it doesn't matter. It's just that I've seen that, and I see that since you guys already have established culture, you guys know, like, hey, this is who we are, this is what we are.
I'm homesick, yeah, I'm always homesick just because I'm not there with my kids, seeing them grow up. But luckily for us, we have the Wi-Fi here, and I can kind of like see them every day. It's not the same as being there with them. And my friends, most of my friends are here with me today in the military, so at least I have them to lean on if I do feel homesick. But other than that, the Wi-Fi here kind of makes me cope with that better, and exploring the culture here, it kind of gets my mind off of things back home.
The people in Estonia are very friendly and curious. I mean, when they see someone like me, they're like, trying to see what I'm all about. So I mean, they're very curious and kind people.
I think you guys are very open, direct, friendly people. You guys are pretty tough, some tough people. Friendly though, for the most part.
They're very intelligent for that. I mean, in our state, you barely know one language, maybe two possibly. But here, I mean, it's like you guys are multilingual, so it's pretty awesome.
And comfort in terms of accommodation and recreation. This is especially important for soldiers. The main reason why leisure time is important is that it offers the balance necessary for focusing on one's more stressful daily responsibilities. Leisure time relieves boredom and stress and also improves one's physical and emotional health.
The Estonian government and NATO have erected numerous structures to accommodate Allied troops and their equipment in Tapa military base. New constructions include railways, a barracks, some depots and garages. During the next 4-year period, Estonia will spend around 52 million euros to provide soldiers with additional living space and a high-grade training field.
Estonia it's amazing. I think compared to my last deployment, compared to living in a tent, we live in the building, we get hot water, a sauna, they feed us some good food, very good food. And we have a MWR, like a little facility down there to feed us like candies and stuff. We want to go buy some candies and stuff. It's really amazing. I like it a lot.
I think it's outstanding. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything better. We got a nice building, showers, food.
Well, since I said it's my third deployment, and this is definitely by far the best living conditions that I've ever had. I mean, we get to stay in a hard stand building, heater, air conditioning. We have showers. In Afghanistan, I mean, we lived in a tent, and our air conditioning would go out a lot. So this is by far the best.
My free time in Estonia, I like to go to Tallinn, Tapa, to explore the different the culture that y'all have here, talk to different people to understand y'all's culture. I like to try different foods. I just like to travel around during my free time.
Well, whenever we get free time, we take our guys out. We go get pizza here in Tapa, or sometimes we go out to the movie theaters in Tallinn to see what movies are out, so we can be kept up with watching movies like our families are back home.
I like to spend my free time either going to the gym, playing video games, and talk to my wife and kids.
Back home, I like to go outdoors, like go hiking with my wife. We like to go kayaking in the reservoirs there in Colorado, or we just kind of like to sit at home and watch TV. But here, I can't go kayaking, hiking. Once again, it's kind of hard, but it's not bad.
Living in a foreign country is an experience that changes us and broadens our horizons. One of the greatest perks of moving to a foreign country is the abundance of new places and areas just waiting to be explored.
NATO soldiers are allowed to walk across the city, visit stores and other public places. They are not prohibited from communicating with civilians, and they can easily make new contacts. While off duty, soldiers are allowed to visit locations within the range of 200 kilometers from their base.
Best experience in Estonia? Wow, I would have to say probably whenever, during the parade. We were watching the parade, stuff like that, and a lot of kids came up and they were very excited to see us. They asked questions, took pictures, and to me that felt awesome. It felt like that, like we were wanted, you know, they wanted to see us there, they wanted to know about us, and it was really neat to actually to be in the culture with y'all and actually kind of share our experiences as such as y'all's experience. And same with, and that's for that aspect, and for the military aspect as well, is training with the Estonian Army. I mean, I think that's fantastic. We get to see how they work and how we work, and being together. It's a great experience. I'll never get to do that again. And I've had a blast with the Estonian Army. I've learned so much through them and stuff like that.
My best experience would be actually taking a part of the Estonian Independence Parade. That was, I've never done that kind of thing before. So I mean, to see all the NATO nations there, and then the people there actually waving to us, like saying, "Thank you, United States, for being here," and shaking our hands afterwards. That was actually something memorable.
So there was a couple of great experiences to start, and I would say the Independence Day parade was pretty awesome. In the movie that followed, they showed us 1944 in a movie theater in Tallinn. So that whole day was pretty fantastic. We did an anti-tank training range where we fired our tanks and our tows with the Estonian anti-tank company. It was a pretty exciting live fire, not something that we would get to do back home. And then also just spending the day in Tartu and sitting on the river and reading a book. That was pretty enjoyable as well.
Just in general, simple things. Talking to people, getting to know the people at the most minimal level. You know, like me talking to you right now. You're getting to know me. I'm getting to know you. So it's basic things. I don't need a phone to be texting or computer to be doing anything like that. In my opinion, is communication that what is it called? It's a human need. You know, like. I get to know you, you get to know me. There's so much more things that I get to know just from talking to you in person than actually being on the phone. On the phone you text, and it's a word. If some people don't know how to write properly or don't know how to read properly, you're gonna mistranslate, But right here I can see your body language, I can see everything. You're talking to me.
I would say my best experience in Estonia is when I was part of the stag display during the Independence Parade. Just seeing little kids come up to us, tourists, even Estonian civilians coming up to us, just taking pictures with us, wanting to be around us, asking us questions, wanting to get to know about an American soldier. And at the same time, I wish to know more about their culture. And just to see that we were able to just communicate with each other and see all that, I thought it was phenomenal.
We might think that Estonia and USA are different from each other, but actually it's completely opposite. Our cultures might differ from each other, but in both countries, there are cultured, open-minded and interesting people. It would be nice if all people would be interested in other cultures, like Americans are.